Sustainability here, and we're about the real nuts and bolts. And if you're interested in how to grow food year-round and how to live more sustainably, we have lots of different classes and workshops that we do here throughout the year. We grow food under tunnels year-round, high tunnels, low tunnels, mid tunnels, and we also do lots of things with fruit. One of the things we're really interested in is how to preserve the food that we can grow in the summertime so that we can eat it all year long. And we really focused on two methods that don't require a lot of energy and don't require canning and don't require freezing. So what would those two be? Drying. That's one. And the high desert is such a perfect place to dry food because look at the autumn we're having. When we put one of our tunnels over asphalt and we dry just about everything we grow, we can dry. What's the second way?
Fermentation.
Exactly. So we really are into kimchi and sauerkraut and all kinds of fermented projects. We're working on hard ciders, and from hard ciders come vinegars. So we're really interested in helping you do what you want to do in terms of sustainability. And that's really one of our passions, is to get everybody to grow some food in their backyard and to recognize just how much food you can do if you really know how to do it. And it's getting out of this piddle mode and getting into a real production mode so you understand the soil and so forth. So it was real interesting. I caught some of your talk on Monsanto, and
oh well, that part.
Most of us, we really don't like Monsanto too much for various reasons. You were mentioning Roundup Ready. Most of the successful GM foods have been Roundup Ready. And what Roundup Ready is it gives them license to just keep throwing poisons on our food and our soils. So it's a double whammy there on some of these kinds of things. But anyway, we are, my card's up there. We have a little thing you can fill out for email. So if we have one or not at the most 2 emails a month, so we don't inundate you with emails, we don't share our email list. My card's up there. Our website is riverschoolfarm.org, and that gives you kind of all the things that we're doing in the programs. The other thing that we really like is if you have something to share, you have something to teach, come to the River School, because that's what we're all about. We're all about doing these kinds of things, alternative kinds of things for mainly adults, but we also do things for kids. So again, thank you very much. I'll be around afterwards. And
Tom had a very nice interview article. And what was the magazine that you got?
Edible Reno Tahoe is our local magazine about food. We also had a nice one in there's a Tahoe magazine that's 4 times.
You're going to have more of them, because what you're doing is what I am going to do in terms of setting up the 1,000 New Gardens program, where there are centers networking. This is what I do for Kucinich and others, where I network rural communities and bunkers. And what you're doing as a center, where it's a sights on, visual, what we call a demonstration farm, demonstrating, trying to show how you do it, and having a network of this. I'd like you all to, I encourage you to start the networking process. I was watching you introduce yourselves, shaking hands. This is extremely important. Even more important than me is whom else you meet here.
So, food brings us all together, and that's one of the things we're all about. So thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah. Okay, so now today, what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to give you a quick protocol. I'm going to take you through some more guided imaging. The guided imaging is going to try to train you to look for a space in your body, and I can't do that for you. You're going to do that for yourself. But I'm going to try to bring you down again, and then we're going to try measuring you again. We'll see how we do, just using this thing. And that's just with no practice. Imagine what you can do when you start to fine-tune some of this stuff. It's wonderful. We make mistakes, but it's not the same anymore. It's like layers of it. You just get closer and closer to the door, where it's not about the door, it's about getting into the layers of it. And if you remember that with your meditations, it's all the same thing. And finding the scale that you're at, you're here, you just keep pushing it up. One step forward, half a step back. 2 steps forward, another step back. And at some point, you're going to get how it goes. It's like watching my face, slowly, 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 the clouds pull apart. And you see what your higher self is trying to say to you. I can't teach you how to do this. I can try to guide you to these places where it'll be a little easier for you. And then the bottom line is with the protocols. And so, since I'm not doing a very good job today, which I will do tomorrow, I would like all of you that would like a copy of those protocols. They are going into the back of this book when it goes to press next month again. This one's out of print already. And what we're going to do is put Appendix A, which are the protocols, and those are the ones you rigorously adhere. And I go A, B, C, I lay it out what you want to do in terms of the thing. What you do is, here you are, and I'm going to explain it to you, and then I'm going to do the guided image. What you do is you're conscious. And are you trying to signal me, or are you just getting rid of the flies, or is bats in your head? Yeah,
Bats.
Bats.
Those are the belfry.
Okay, what you do with your conscious mind, you're conscious where you are right now. You ask the question. You have a question. Whatever it is, something mundane like, it's going to rain tomorrow. No. Ask that, is it going to rain tomorrow? Well, you already have some ideas, but that's not what we're going to. You don't want your ideas. You want to know, is it going to rain tomorrow? And then, you go down into the state and let the clouds appear. You can see it in your mind's eye. It's as simple as that. And then when you go down to this place, you see it more clearly than if you go over to that place. You come in back a little bit here, it's clear, and you start to figure out where it is. You center in. Once you center in, now there's layers of that rainbow that happen. And what you do is you keep centering in, and you get better and better. And all of my Navy SEALs, every single one of them, by the time I was finished with them, it took months, not a day. That's just Darshan and me giving you the flavor. To motivate you, give you a direction of where you want to go. I'm not going to be able to do it to you. You're going to do it for yourself, and some of you are going to do very well. And what I would really like to see out of this group, because it's a crazy person, well, maybe, is that a group of you start a certification program once you understand where you test so-called psychics. You just do the same test, the simple test I did. And then as they improve, you give them ratings. And then the psychic hotline is no longer, you don't know what you're going to get. Well, you've got someone that's a rating 4, rating 5, and you're going to do it just like we did with hypnosis 20 years earlier. I remember a time when I tried to teach hypnosis. I've been a hypnotherapist, Gil Boyne schools, for more than 20 years. And using hypnosis is a very powerful tool. And so my book is not all about ESP, it's how to use your mind, of which ESP is a byproduct. ESP isn't real. You already know what to do. You know where to go. You just are a little brat kid and you need to have a little discipline, that's all. Training yourself, training your mind, focus in, hold that thought. And I'm not sure how that's all going to work for you, But even if it doesn't work well for you, you still can test people and find people that are a little more gifted. Because there's a lot of psychics out there, and they can scare you with their information, like I know about your wife last night. And you know, that kind of thing. What? That's mentalism, by the way. There's all kinds of things you can do on that. Mentalism is another weird part of magic. Yeah, right. But it would be really nice if you could take someone that was psychically possible, like some people we were talking about last night, and then somehow focus them into it's not about them anymore, it's about something more. And once they get that, then something else happens, because the higher self, you see, most people are at war with themselves. Right now, there's a dialogue going on in your higher self. We call them illness. That's what an illness is. When you don't understand what your higher self is trying to say to you, it'll make you sick. You don't get it, a Mack truck will hit you. And it'll keep escalating until you, oh. That's how the subconscious works. And once you get it, then you're no longer sick. You don't need to, because the subconscious achieved what it's trying to do. Communicate to you. Sickness isn't real. There's a difference between health and healing. You know, this one presumes there's something wrong with you, and I can find something wrong with you. I've got worms or whatever you got, you know. I can run it down. Homeostasis, or balance, is always different for each of us, just like ESP is. How you do that has its own methods of how you form dialogue with yourself. And everybody, I can't tell you my interplane experiences because I don't wish to contaminate you with your own exploration of how you do it for yourself. Everybody's different. In fact, it's like talking to you about God. You know, how can I talk to you about God? I can't talk to you about God. I can talk to you about my God, but my God isn't your God, in that each of us have a different way of relating inside to the higher parts of things. And what we're trying to do is find that dialogue. Start with journaling. You'll find you start talking back to yourself. There's a thing that will happen where you answer your questions. That's what we're going to try to do without journaling today. We're going to take a question, any question, and then you actively, this is what I want to know, I'm writing it down, there's my mind, I wrote it down, conscious comes, and then when you get to this place, it will reveal, you write the answer. And you don't think, you write the answer. And when you do that, and it's right out of the gate, you don't, oops, I changed my mind. First thought comes through the right one. Always will be that way. And it gets better and better as you get more into yourself. So what I'm going to try to do is take you back down into these places again. Where you're here, you ask your question. I'll say to you, you're conscious, you're awake, you're listening to me. Number 7, drop down, write your answer. Don't even think, just write it. Number 8, and that's how it's going to work. And where I want you to drop down, not hang out down there, come back up, down, up, learn how to move back and forth, like in and out of different states of consciousness. And being aware, now I'm here, now I'm here. Good luck. Any questions? Okay, so I'm going to try to do another series of guided images. I want you to go back down. I want you to think of now this time of not so much fighting me or not fighting me, but trying to find that depth of place where you go. I'm going to try to take you down to a place that it happens. And it's deeper than you realize. And yet, it's not anywhere down there. It's real close to you, as a matter of fact, because there are other places in hypnosis where you can go and you can have a leg sawed off and not feel the pain. So with that place, that's not where we're going today. I'm not going to take you into somnambulistic places of who cares. I'm going to try to take you down. I want everybody get in a very comfortable position. Some of my astronauts, not Navy SEALs as much, but astronauts used to lay down. They just, flop out and let it just flow. What I'm trying to do is teach you how to do smooth muscle relaxation immediately. You get in a perfect position where you're comfortable, and you start with your breathing, monitoring your breathing. Everybody getting in a comfortable position? Good. I am relaxing and listening to my voice. My fingers are relaxed. My toes are relaxed. Watch your toes. Your arms are relaxed. Your legs, all of your muscles are relaxing now. I feel pleasantly relaxed, and my attention is directed to my voice. Now a pleasant experience is ahead of you. I shall make a trip in a balloon. I want you to take a trip in a balloon. Imagine and feel you are carried by the balloon higher and higher toward the light, toward the sun, listening to my voice, and feeling of being high above the earth, high in the air, flying higher in the air, carried by the balloon, high above the earth, and listening to my voice. There is a gentle wind starting to blow. Here where I am, a gentle breeze that will carry your balloon on a long, long trip. Maybe you have some place, a specific place you'd like to visit, which you may want to visit, where you want to go. Or perhaps you simply want to enjoy this voyage, feeling light, floating in the air, very light. You are continuing your flight on and on, floating high in the air, carried by the balloon, driven by this gentle breeze, by this gentle, soft wind. It is really a beautiful, pleasant voyage. You are floating high in the air, carried by the balloon, driven by this gentle breeze, by this gentle, soft wind. You float on and on, enjoying this flight and listening only to my voice. At times when my voice is silent, you will be absorbed in thinking about the problem which you want to have solved. This is the place where you think about your problem, where you want to ask that question. And you wait. Wait for the impressions which may bring the solution to your problem. While on this flight, I may go to sleep. You may fall actually asleep for a brief period. And during that sleep, you will have a very vivid dream. A dream that will give you the solution to your problem. Or, while fully alert and listening to my voice, you simply wait for the vision which will answer your problem. Go on. Enjoy this floating, this flight. All your thoughts are directed to my voice and to the problem I want to have solved. Enjoy this flight. You are still waiting for the solution of this problem. The problem is clearly defined in the mind. You know what you want to achieve. You know what to expect from this state. This is the state that's going to give you the place, this quiet place. And patiently wait for the solution. You don't act on it. You patiently wait. Patiently wait for the answer. If you have arrived at a satisfactory solution, you may wish to return to your normal state. You simply decide that you want to return back to the normal state by counting slowly from 5 back to 1. But you're not ready to return yet. You don't have any hurry. You've got lots of time listening to my voice, going down a little deeper and a little deeper. You'll be able to bring back whenever you want to, whenever you want, you can come back to consciousness. But really, right now, you don't want to do that. What you want to do is enjoy this balloon flight. You want to enjoy it further. Keep listening to my voice and feel that you are flying with the balloon. Feel the movement of the balloon as it's blowing through the wind. Experience that place where you are feeling what you think. Flow with the balloon, flow in the air, floating higher and higher on this balloon ride. You will find the solution of your problem more easily if you attentively listen to my voice as you continue this flight. You may imagine, and later you will really feel, that your balloon is now entering a cloud. Look for that cloud. Watch the balloon entering into the cloud. It's softly blowing in the breeze, entering into the cloud, floating higher and higher into a cloud. It's all white and shimmery. It's all opaque. You can't quite see anything right now other than feel the movement of the balloon and the gentle blowing of the wind. Everything is essentially nothing, changing nothing. Nothing is changing. Everything is quiet. You're getting in a very quiet place with yourself. This is really important. Just keep floating. Try to feel, not see something in your mind's eye. Try to just feel the floating of the balloon as it rocks back and forth, as the breeze carries the balloon higher and higher. There is a dense shining of mist around you, like a dense cloud. A heavy mist is now forming. There is light everywhere around you. That means there's a lot of sunshine outside the cloud. But you are now inside, and all around you there is this dense, heavy, opaque mist. This is where you wanted to go and visit. This is the place you wanted to see. This is where you wanted this balloon to go. It's slowly rocking. It's all very bright, but it's a mist, so you don't really see anything other than know that you've entered into a deep cloud and you're trying to see through the cloud. And then you start to look around and see. You look around and finally see what you wanted to see. Wait. Patiently wait. Wait until you reach that place. Wait until you actually see what you wanted to see. A vivid and clear experience. Or will it be a dream? Are you dreaming? That's the place you want to go. The place between consciousness and dream states, where you're not sure if it's a dream you're seeing right now or awareness. The time is gradually approaching for you to terminate this meditation exercise. My voice has been helping you on your way to success because you need to go down to this place right here. This is where you want to go, right here. Remember, my voice has only been helping you. It is you who are most important here. It is you whose effort will finally lead to success. You will always be able to control the state by yourself, by the way. It's simple. It's not very deep, but it's that floating in that dense cloud of bright light with the sun shining through. My voice will be an aid which will make you toward your way to success. You can actually make voices on tape to help you guide an image. That's why I'm having a little difficulty reading for you, because all I'm doing is reading a script that you create for yourself to take you to this place. The balloon is rising higher. The mist is getting thicker and brighter. This is a period of meditation that you have given more energy, greater strength of life, and know that in the future, as you repeat this exercise, you will become more and more successful. Now the mist is starting to clear. The mist is starting to clear, and you're starting to see something. What is it that you see? What you are seeing is the answer to your question. There it is. You go to this place, there's the answer. The fog is clearing. It's getting lighter. It's less thick. I'm seeing more light. There you are. You're starting to see what you wanted to see. Wait. Let it clear itself. Don't force it. Now the balloon is already starting to descend again. Here we come down. We're coming down, floating in the breeze. As the air starts to thin, the mist falling away, and you're arriving where you wanted to arrive. You're seeing what you want to see. That is where you want to be, right there. Now I'm going to bring you down, back into consciousness on a count of 5 to 1, and we're going to come back in to consciousness. And so I'm going to count backward. 5, the balloon is starting to approach the land where you wanted to be. The answer you wanted to your question, to that possibility of where you wanted to go. 4, the light is starting to clear, the fog is starting to clear, and you're seeing what you wanted to see. 3, you're starting to feel your limbs. The bucket has already landed on the earth, and now you have your answer. Right here is where you have your answer. 2, 1. It's time to open your eyes. That is the place where I say, number 7, I want you to go to that place that you were in right there, at will. Good luck. It won't be easy. It took me, 10 minutes to get you there. What you want to do is be able to do it in less than 5 seconds, where you just drop yourself down, and then you go. Everybody get that, sort of? How would you like me to measure you again? And I'll take you through one more guided message, and we'll test you again. And each time I do it, I'm going to guess that if you apply that place that you were in, not where you are right now, but that place where you were in for that one moment, you can do that. When I ask you that, you go to that place, and you just let the number, or the symbol, or the color, or the location, or the answer Peer. Peer. My face peers. It pulls it apart and it's there for you. And you don't think about it. You simply feel it. And that's the part where you're moving above the physical plane and you're using your mind to get answers that you seek. Would you guys like to do another test now, trying that little technique and going to this place where instead of everybody's worried, spiral, square, what? And if you relax, this is a very advanced technique in magic. This is the first power tool that all Navy SEALs are trained to do. To be able, in the light of whizzing bullets, simply turn it off for one moment, achieve what they need to know, and then come up and act on it without even thinking, without hesitation. When you think, when you try to, I did too many squares, maybe I, what you're doing is you're creating secondary and third thought forms that make it unreal. And what you're trying to do is pick the reality. Now, the big question I'm going to ask is, did you guess the right card or did you make me pull up the right card? Now we're going to enter into a whole new area of the possibilities of what's really going on. You ready? You guys want to go do a test and see how it goes? Thank you for letting me read your book, Mom. Thank you. Whose book did I borrow? That's back there. Way back. Thank you for letting me use your book. I have not used those scripts. I started not using the script because the script is actually written for you to read to yourself on self-hypnosis. I'm not interested in hypnotizing people. It's for you to do it for yourself with a disc so that you, instead of meditating, use some guided images, which is concentration rather than meditation, but not really. They're very different and they're very similar. And what you're trying to do is go in that little fuzzy place that you're starting to feel, that not the shimmery place that you were talking about. Remember you were talking about the shim? Well, that's what we're talking about. Because you experienced that, and that's when I saw you open your eyes. Because you had this blockage. But that's where you wanted to go in the first place, just like she was telling you. You actually have already achieved that. That's what she said. You actually have. You just need to convince your conscious, limited mind that you have already achieved a level of awareness that you didn't know you had, and your consciousness is with ego and all the rest of it is all about, It's not about ego anymore. Ego is important. In the scheme of things, it's a little dot. It's the one that keeps you alive.
We're trying to define that experience. That puts us.
I couldn't explain it. Okay. It's going to be different. Everybody had a different relationship with it. His is, I don't believe it. But that's okay. It's not about your consciousness and what it thinks. It's and that. See if you get 11. Well, that's and the thing is, it's not about getting an 11. It's about getting to that place where you trust yourself. That's the part of the rock you see in me. Where you trust yourself. It has nothing to do with where you are. You're already there.
Touché.
Well, it's all a mental state of consciousness and using it as your tool, not your driver. You do not do not want to. This is going to mess you up purposefully. That's what you call karma. And the higher self is trying to say something to you. The shimmery thing is actually a good thing, not a bad thing. And you've actually achieved a certain layer. And that is in my second book when I do ontologies of mystical states, where you have different layers of the experience. You trance, art, and creativity. That's on my website. On the homepage, it's chapter 8. It's a little sample of the book. It talks, like in the ESP book, you have the different physical states. You can measure yourself on where you are. You're looking for a very light state, but that state will unify all of it. It's like once you start adding to the different things, now consciousness becomes something more. And now Monsanto can't affect you. Aliens cannot affect you. Military cannot affect you. There is nothing that you can't do in that place. And it's all, I wouldn't have seen it if I hadn't believed it. And what the problem is a thing called synergy, where the power of the group is greater than the sum of the individual parts. And if there's a group of people around you that think you have leprosy, watch you turn into a green toad. I mean, you'll rot right on the vine even though you don't believe it. That's what medicine's about. Well, I mean, they'll have you believe there's something wrong with you. But in fact, like Steve Gaskins did it, and I said it earlier, it may not be a perfect circle, but it's a perfect whatever it is. And that's, everybody's different, and you all need center in this. It's a very subtle concept, very simple, in altered states. But once you get it, now you have a tool that rather than who knows what it's going to do. All right? Let's get ourselves ready, and we're going to try it again. Only this time, what I want you to do, instead of being all flustered squares, wait, what was number 7? What was 8? I want you to be completely relaxed. I'm going to guide you down. I'm going to put you down before we do the test. And then we're going to do it again, exactly the same. Only this time, we'll have some advanced scores in here, and maybe some of you will go backwards because you were precog and doing 2 steps ahead of me. That's how that works too, by the way. Somehow you can look at it down. I had Keith Milton Reinhardt. Has anybody ever heard of him? He was Aquarium Foundation out of Seattle, Washington. He did apportations and billet readings. I had him in a class of mine once. I had 102 students. It was a big class. And he asked everybody in the audience to write something on a piece of paper and hold it. And then he would point to you and say, oh yes, blah, 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 blah. And he did that for 102 people, and he only missed 2 people. And guess what mine was? My question was, I would like you to prove to me you're not reading my mind. You know what he said to me? He said, in my mother's hope chest, there's a letter at the bottom of the thing that was written before a year before you were born. And you read that letter about your birth. And I found the letter. Keith Milton Reinhardt. And he did that. That's when Helmut Schmidt came in and did his random generator thing out of Boeing. And we were testing people like that because we wanted to know how we could do that. That was before I developed these models. Right shortly after that, I then did a debriefing on Milan Riesel, which is who the book is dedicated to, and why I've now, that became a protocol just not only for Navy SEALs and astronauts. Today, my protocols are used in Annapolis for second-year plebes. Everybody is taught this technique of learning how to control breath and going to states of consciousness. And I can't hardly do it in a big class, in a 2-hour, 4-hour, 10-hour, 1-hour period. What I can do is give you the protocols, and if you want them in a very concise way, that's an email to me, and I'll send you a paper, ABC, which will be the appendix in the new print on the book with Nick Begich. Now, what I'd like you to do is get your paper out. Here we go. I'm going to first change things up a little bit. I'm going to try and change. What's that? Oh, no, talking to someone? And the reason I'm not looking at them is I'm a telepath, and I don't want to be telepathing to anything, where there's a random variable in that. And there might be, and that's why this, and what we're doing today isn't very precise at all, but it's enough that you can do these cards yourself, you understand, and be able to test yourself regularly and watch the improvement. I had a couple of astronauts that did this for 10 years, and at the end of 10 years, well, John Glenn's one of my best friends. I mean, I would love to be like a John Glenn and go back into space. I want to go to Mars when I'm 80. I bet I can. Why? Because I think I can. That's how that works.
Some people take an airplane.
Why?
Yeah.
Because I haven't been there yet, and I want to do a walkabout. I've been everywhere else. I haven't been to the moon either, but I don't care about the moon. The moon doesn't even have cheese, so I'm not Well, there's nothing there. It's a gravity well. Might be something on the other side. Who cares? What I do know is that Mars has water, has more water than Earth. Did you know that? That just came out in the news. NASA is just now starting to say, guess what? It's a different kind of water, too, by the way. It's a brand new structured water that is slushy liquid at 100 degrees below Fahrenheit. It's not an ice. It's slush. Yeah, it means that it slushes.
Margarita without the lime.
There you go. Margarita. Now there's an image. All right. Before I do number one, and I'm going to do number one, I'd like you all to get prepared. I want you to start focusing on your breathing first before you take the test. Breathing in and out. Getting ready to open your eyes and be in this lower state of consciousness so you can write. And now I'm going to ask you, okay, we're ready? Here we go. Number one. Number two. Number three. Number four. Number five. Number six. Number seven. Number eight. Number nine. Number 10. Number 11. Number 12. Number 13. Number 14. Going down, sleep, sleep. Number 15. Number 16. Number 17. Number 18. Number 19. Number 20. Number 21. Number 22. '23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. 30. All right, now you come back into reality here, and let's see how we did. Just that little tiny fog of yours, just a little tiny difference between where you are right now and that place where you were when you were taking this is going to hopefully show you how this whole system works. It's very simple, and yet is the bottom line. So let's go ahead and see what kinds of answers we've got here. How's that sound? Number 1 is a circle. Number 2 is a square. Number 3 is an atom. Yes. Number 4 is a circle. Number 5 is a star. Number 6 is a square. Number 7 is an atom. Number 8 is a star. Number 9 is a circle. Number 10 is a star. Number 11 is an atom. Number 12 is a spiral. Number 13 is a star. Number 14 is a square. Number 15 is a circle. Number 16 is an atom. Number 17 is an atom. Number 18 is a spiral. Number 19 is a star. Number 20 is a square. Number 21 is a spiral. Number 22 is a spiral. Number 23 is a circle. Number 24 is a circle. Number 25 is a square. Number 26 is a spiral. Number 27 is a star. Number 28 is a circle. Number 29 is an atom. And number 30 is an atom. How did you do? Worse? Huh?
Much worse.
Much worse?
Much worse.
Tell me how.
I had a 7, I had a 3 now.
You have a 3?
Yeah.
Well, a 7 is only 2 above, and a 3 is
5.
Yeah.
That's the curve from the morning. How about if everybody who had 10 or more stands up or raises your hand? Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at 10 or more. Okay. 9s.
2. Yeah.
8s.
2 this morning.
2 this morning, and you have 8 today?
9.
9.
Total? Yes, total for this afternoon. 7. How many had 7s? 1, 2.
Hoo-ah! You're on your way. You're not there, but you're on your way now. You got the game. You know how to do it now. Now you practice.
6s. Okay, no, total
Pretty
for this
cool, huh?
afternoon.
Yeah.
6 on the one we just had.
It works. It's simple. And yet, it's absolutely, and this is the first step toward true enlightenment, because where you can go next year if you practice on this thing.
5s. People at
You
5.
have no idea.
Okay. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Kicking and
There's another
screaming.
5. 3. 1, 2.
You know, that's paranormal, what you're doing.
2.
Same thing.
1, 2. Okay.
And he was a 5.
It was a 5. Okay.
Same as it ever was.
We went from 7 to 2.
Time burns.
That happens.
Same as it ever was.
1, 2, 7, 10,
Same as it ever
20,
was. Fine, I was pretty mad at you.
45. I don't have as many responses in the afternoon, but it's definitely higher weighted to the higher numbers, yes.
There it is. It's and it's a statistical thing, and it takes a lot of practice. It's not that simple. But it's so simple, and it's finding that place and the exercises are in the book to continually try to keep going back to that place, like meditation. And if you do this, watch what happens next week and next year. And I have individuals that have just continue to get better and better and better as they achieve that dialogue with themselves of knowing exactly where you are in yourself. And you need to rethink yourself and knowing that you really actually know a lot more than you really do. Question? What are you going to do?
I went way down to the 2. I went from a 7 to a 2. Yeah, it's like when
Actually, you went from 2 points down to 4 points. The 3 points. You actually improved by 1.
You went
From
to
a
a
psychic,
further
Dr. Ryan's point
outliner.
of view,
It's
you're
not based on the middle going only up.
Okay.
Either direction out from where you were is a significance.
In a practical strategy, it's extreme, it doesn't matter if it's going one
Did you
way
go
or the
7
other.
to 2?
Well, that's what.
well, it's beyond statistical inference. And probably, in many of you that went lower scores, you were 1 ahead of me or 2 ahead of me. Yeah, take a look at your scorecard and find out you might be a precog, where you're actually seeing the card before or after me. And that is absolutely why they would classify one person as a precog, as a telepath. And this is one of the first stages of me training SEALs that I trained for 2 years. I would work with them for 2 years like you guys are until we got you centered in on, dialogue with yourself rather than fighting me or fighting yourself. And that's all you're really doing right now. You're at war like that wolf and the dog, the savage and the civilized. And what you're trying to do is find a relationship between the two so that you can function correctly. It's not about ego, it's about finding that center in yourself. And everybody's place is different, just a little tiny bit. Pretty amazing, isn't it, though?
I noticed I picked a lot of the exact same ones.
Uh-huh.
Why would I do that? Without
Because
seeing them,
I don't know. I mean, I don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
I would, if it was me one-on-one, then we would do a different kind of experiment.
It's
Like
not
instead
all
of doing-
spirals, right?
Well, no, I literally picked the same weird patterns twice.
Well,
Oh.
sometimes you're better not to do images. You do colors.
I was doing, what's a purple blue?
What's the purple blue star? Yeah, purple blue. Sorry. Yes.
I was more, last time I was more like looking at the card and at you at the front. This time I realized I was kind of ridiculous to look at.
Right.
And so I was almost, it felt like sonar in the sense that like I could feel it like it bounce off the spiral. I could feel the corners of the square.
Now you would write that in your diary tonight as an observation to yourself and sleep on that and see what you added to that in the morning that came to you. Watch where that goes. This is called the internal dialogue part. It's simple. I'm not supposed to make you paranormal in one day. I can. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Why do some of us see the color but not the symbols?
Because some of you are a little brat children like me, instead of sophisticated adults that see forms, they see colors. Everybody is a little different in the way they receive it. And that's why my symbols actually had colors too. And I could have read the color to you instead of the image. And that would have been an interesting thing to touch. And that would have been the second thing I would have done with you. Instead of doing a spiral, I would have then measured you with colors and then see where you are. Everybody's different.
Just look at your chart, because the color, you can tell the color by the symbol. And she can tell what colors you picked.
I can do that. You wrote down what the right answer is. And,
I only wrote down the colors, but you mentioned the symbols, and I'm like, why am I seeing different colors?
because the symbols had colors associated with them. And that is a clairvoyant. Yeah. Did you use your imaging? Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I just wanted to say, with the first time we did it, I got 3 out of 30. And the second time I got 12 out of 30. So
That's pretty amazing.
my-
Looks to
my
me like you're on your way to disbelieving me to going for it.